I'm here at the NFL Experience at the Moscone Center here. It's Kids Day, as you can see, right guys? Yeah, there we go. Now you might not have seen all the faces that you're going to see on Super Bowl Sunday right here, but we did bump into one person who you might get to know a little bit better come Sunday. A football in the hands of 11-year-old Marlo Mosley is bound to be thrown.
I work on it at school and with my dad a lot. Do routes outside with my dad, so.
Keep an eye out for her on Sunday. Out of thousands of entries, she won the NFL Super Kid contest. Part of the prize, delivering the game ball to the referee on Super Sunday. A little nervous maybe, no?
A little bit. There's going to be all the people in the stadium watching and then everybody at home watching, so.
Oh, I'm just so proud of her already, and I'm just going to be, knowing that she's taking it all in.
Football is in Marlo's blood, according to her mother, Loretta.
Well, she plays on a Pop Warner tackle football team with the boys.
The 11-year-old from San Jose will walk center stage at football's biggest event Sunday, and she has football dreams beyond this year.
She wants to be an NFL head coach one day.
Because I think women can do the same thing as men can do, and that it's no different. And that nobody says that a lady can't be in the NFL and just coach. So I think it should be equally the same. If they love to do it, then they can do it.
In San Francisco, at the Super Bowl, Jake Burns, CBS 6 News. All right, this is Lombard Street. It's known as the crookedest street in the world. San Francisco is known for its really steep roadways, but this road is so steep that cars have to switch back all the way down the hill. It's quite a trek. I'm going to try it in just a second, but one thing you got to notice, the view is incredible. The one site that every single person that's from San Francisco told me you had to check out is Alcatraz Island. You can see it way off in there, the distance. It used to be a federal penitentiary in the middle of the bay, made famous by that Sean Connery movie, The Rock, but few people know it was the first lighthouse and fort built here on the West Coast. When you think iconic San Francisco, you think of the Golden Gate Bridge. It's right back behind me. Its towers are 746 feet tall, and from a distance, it's an absolutely breathtaking sight. And when the sun goes down in San Francisco, Fisherman's Wharf is one of the places to be. It started out as a fishing community, one of the very first fishing communities here in San Francisco back in the 19th century, and now it's a place to be for nightlife, shopping, and enjoying a bunch of great restaurants too. One of the prettier nighttime sites here in San Francisco is the Ferry Marketplace building. It was opened in 1898, but like everything these days, it's got a lot of Super Bowl flair to it right now. We end our tour of 6 iconic spots in San Francisco right here at the Bay Bridge. It spans from downtown San Francisco into Oakland. Now look really closely at it right now. Those are LED lights running up and down the cables. That display was designed by world-renowned artist Leo Varelli. It came back for the Super Bowl week, and it's going to stay up from here on out. In San Francisco, Jake Burns, CBS 6 News.
Beyonce. Yeah, we're inching closer and closer to Super Bowl 50, which you can watch Sunday right here on CBS 6.
Yeah, the teams and many of their fans are descending on the Bay Area ahead of Sunday's big game. Our Jake Burns is live there right now in San Francisco, California, the site of Super Bowl 50, where the excitement is building this morning. What time is it there right now?
What is it? They're 3 hours behind us, so 3:16, Jake?
Reba, I think it's... Yeah, 3:16 in the morning, so it's really, really early out here, even earlier than where you guys are at. But there's still a whole lot of excitement right here in the Bay Area for Super Bowl 50, just right around the corner. It's coming up on Sunday, and as soon as we got off the plane, you could really feel the anticipation for the big game. But the build-up to that is a big deal, too. There's all kinds of parties and events in and around town, but right now, I'm live in the financial district. The Embarcadero, which is right near the Bay Bridge here in San Francisco, has been transformed into Super Bowl City. In fact, back behind me right here, you can see the entrance. We shot some video there yesterday afternoon. You can see people having a whole lot of fun. All the major sport networks are here broadcasting live, and the fans are enjoying interactive experiences, food, drink, and I even saw some virtual reality football games going on in there. They put the headset on. It was pretty cool. So everybody has their own reason for being here right now in San Francisco, but we caught up with a family yesterday who has a very specific and interesting reason. Now, this is a historic Super Bowl. Remember, it is the 50th one.
We live on the other side of the bay and we never come over here, but we're here now because the world is here, and we're so excited because we're in our 50s and we're at the 50. It's once in a lifetime, and I tell you, I'm so really excited.
Doreen is definitely pumped up. She was fun to meet yesterday. Anywhere you go in the 49 square miles right here in San Francisco, you're seeing signs of Super Bowl 50. They're all over the place, and everybody's having a lot of fun. We'll bring you sights and sounds from all over this great city throughout the week. Robin Reba.
Oh, you've got the Golden Gate Bridge, Alcatraz, all those sites.
Ooh.
But at 3:16 in the morning, Jake is looking for a 7-Eleven, so we're going to let you go get a drink there.
All right. Thanks, Jake.
I
Get some
need
coffee.
I'm here on Market Street in downtown San Francisco, but this week it's known as the 50th mile. The NFL has kiosks like this set up all down Market Street, showing highlights and history and memories of past Super Bowls. Remember, this is a historic Super Bowl. It's the 50th one, and the NFL is making a point to remember all of its past games and the memories that that's created for people. So we went around Richmond and asked a few former players to give us their football memories.
I played at Tab High School. Played all 4 years, actually. Competition. I enjoy being in the trenches with your friends, but also the enemy as well, and just strategizing on how are we going to win, how are we going to get out of this situation, and that's competition. That's what I see every day here in government and in politics as well.
Locally, I played at Millsy Godwin, graduated there in '91, and then fall of 1991, played at Methodist College, now it's Methodist University out in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Fun of the game was the camaraderie, the teamwork, getting to meet new people, and you're in the trenches together and you're doing it as a team. That's the one thing I remember the most, and developing good friendships and relationships along the way.
Estimates show that more than 1 million fans are swarming into San Francisco as we speak to enjoy Super Bowl weekend. Lane Casadante and I will be here live at 6 p.m. and bring you all the fun and the sights and the sounds from Super Bowl City. Working for you in San Francisco, Jake Burns, CBS 6 News. The NFL experience here is all about the fans. They want them to enjoy Super Bowl week as best they can, but this year at Super Bowl 50, the NFL gave fans access to something they usually don't get to see, Radio Row. Nationally syndicated radio shows broadcasting from the Moscone Center in San Francisco bring out a who's who of stars. Movie star Liam Hemsworth of the Hunger Games fame draws the attention of the ladies, while science fiction fans geek out over actor Jeff Goldblum. A laundry list of NFL superstars, Hall of Famers, and legends dot the various sets, but there are some familiar faces or voices too. Larry Michaels is the voice of the Washington Redskins. He's been to 20 Super Bowls and says this is the first time the fans got up close and personal with Radio Row.
They don't interrupt any of the interviews. They can take their pictures and they can get close to a lot of these legends. So for fans, we do it at training camp. We have the helmet walk where the players grab the kids out of the crowd, and we feel that every child or every person that gets a chance to meet one of our players, it might be the only chance they ever get to do something like that, and it'll be something they'll remember the rest of their lives.
Yeah, Larry Michaels says that the Redskins are making a step towards the Lombardi Trophy, so he hopes they'll be here next year. But it's a lot of fun right here at Super Bowl week for all the fans that have come out to enjoy it from across the country. Working for you in San Francisco, Jake Burns, CBS 6 News.
Ms. Clinton was on the show last fall. Donald Trump hosted the show in November. We are now only a couple of hours away from Super Bowl 50, and I'm sure many of you have plans for enjoying the game later tonight, but how do you give your game day food a little San Francisco flair? Well, Jake Burns continues our exclusive coverage live from the Bay Area and get a little advice from a famous chef. Good morning to you, Jake. Who is this famous chef you're talking about?
Well, Greg, I'm just really a culinary tourist here in San Francisco. So, I know some of the traditions, the sourdough bread, the Anchor steamed beer, the Mission burritos. But Andrew Zimmern, he's an expert in this area. Zimmern is the host of the Travel Channel show Bizarre Foods. The James Beard award-winning chef was here in town last night hosting Taste of the NFL. Now, that's a dinner party and silent auction that's raised more than $24 million for food banks and nonprofits across the country. So I asked Zimmern, how would you sum up the food scene, the culinary scene here in San Francisco, and what are its influences?
Northern California, and especially San Francisco, has so many really diverse cultural influences. You got to remember, the Mission Burrito was literally created here, right? One of the oldest Chinatowns still extant in the world is here. So incredible Asian tradition. There's so much great food in this town. It's absolutely incredible.
Now, I also wanted to know what someone with his culinary talent would put on their Super Bowl 50 menu. He said he would make Dungeness crab Louis sandwiches, a little bit of seafood cioppino, and also have some wine country cheeses to finish it off. Sounds really, really tasty, but hey, not all of us have that kind of culinary skill, so you might want to try chicken wings. In fact, last year, Americans ate more than 1 billion chicken wings on Super Bowl Sunday.
Jake, fantastic interview. Tell us about the Richmond restaurant scene, because so many of our eateries have made national headlines. What does Andrew Zimmern think about the Richmond restaurant scene?
Yeah, you know, Greg, he actually said it was a pretty cool scene. It's very diverse, similar to here in San Francisco. They filmed a TV show not long ago in Richmond. It was a pretty cool episode. One of his favorite places in the world, he says, is Peter Chang's out there in the West End.
Fantastic. Jake, thank you so much, and enjoy those San Francisco treats, my friend.
We're now just 2 days away from Super Bowl 50.
And we have a crew in San Francisco. They've been bringing us complete coverage before the big game that everybody's waiting for. Our Lane Casadante and Jake Burns joins us live now to tell us about some VCU graduates who actually helped make some commercials for Sunday's big game.
Yeah, Candace and Bill, obviously the Super Bowl is the most watched television show in North America every single year, and as such, advertisers won't get a bigger audience. They won't pay more for it either, but they won't get a bigger audience. And Jake is here to tell us about some of the ads we're going to see that have a little local background to
them.
Yeah,
you know, VCU produces a lot of advertising talent out of their brand center, and they've worked on several spots that you're going to see on Super Sunday.
Studies find that more than half of the people watching the Super Bowl are tuned in for the commercials.
What's your social security number?
And in 2016, the Super Bowl ad menu is filled with RVA influence. Graduates of VCU's Brand Center worked on at least 9 different Super Bowl spots this year.
Brand Center alumni, just in the past 3 or 4 years, have had over 29 spots.
The average cost of a 30-second spot last year was $4.5 million. With more than 100 million eyeballs on your commercial, the pressure for advertisers is astronomical.
A lot on the line in terms of getting that story and that message right. So I'd like to think some of the pressure of Brand Center has prepared them for that.
Been on a plane before.
Watch closely Sunday. Brand Center alumni worked on spots featuring actor James Lipton, the Jack in the Box guy, and whatever this little fur ball known as the Mermot is.
Yes, it's very impressive. We're pretty giddy about it.
The alumni of this creative incubator on Jefferson Street hope fans watching at home are giddy about their spots.
I got to tell you, Lane, of the ads that I've seen so far from the VCU Brand Center graduates working on them, the Mermont ad, I think, is going to be the funnest of them all. Hey, have you seen a few of the ads?
I've seen a couple. There's a Budweiser ad I saw this morning, and the one with the Super Bowl babies is the best. With
great.
all the kids that were born, let's say, 9 months after each Super Bowl. When you see it with Seal, you're going to love it. Live from Super Bowl City in San Francisco, Lane Casadante and Jake Burrs, we will send it back to you guys.
We're going to study those numbers. Thank you, Lane.
All this happening at the Richmond Convention Center from 10 to 4 tomorrow. Our coverage of Super Bowl 50 continues now live from San Francisco. And in case you didn't know, the NFL runs a lot of programs that are designed to help out the community in their area.
But yesterday in San Francisco, building strong families was the focus, and our Jake Burns was there as several families created new memories together. Hi, Jake.
Reba, some of my fondest memories as a kid was playing and watching football with my father, and that father-kid relationship is so critical to the health of any family. The whole goal of yesterday's football family clinic was to create some lasting memories for the fathers and kids that participated, and through those memories, strengthen their bond. So the families went through drills. They had a time for a few touchdown dances as well, but every few moments or so, the organizers would stop everything and have the fathers give their kids a big hug. I had the opportunity yesterday to speak with Detroit Lions head coach Jim Caldwell. He says each and every year he tries to make it a priority to help his players become better fathers.
We found that some of them don't necessarily know how to be a father because they haven't had a strong male figure in their life. Some of them have, but nevertheless, what we try to do is to make certain that we provide tools for them to excel in that area.
Part of that toolkit is just being there for your kids, says Caldwell. He in fact told the crowd that it's mostly many times it's the small things that a father can do to make him a great dad. And he wants more fathers just to spend time with their kids, enjoying life and enjoying the moments that make everything great.
I love that. It's been a family affair. Jake, I have to ask you, I know it's really, really early there overnight right now. Is everybody asleep? Anybody up with you there, or are you all by yourself?
There's a few people walking around and some security here at Super Bowl City just hanging out with me, but for the most part, the city dies down right around 2 o'clock. Now, since today is Friday, that might change this evening.
Especially Saturday, right? All right. Thanks, Jake.
Well, that'll be exciting, Mike. We are just one day away now from the exciting National Football Championship game, and for the last week, we've been bringing you the latest from San Francisco. We continue our coverage tonight where CBS 6's Jake Burns has been searching and found a local tie to the game. Hey, Jake.
Out of 106 players on the active roster, Angie, only one of them really has a Virginia connection. He played college football in Virginia. Now, this week is also a lot about the fans. Here at Super Bowl City, we've seen a lot of fun this week, and today we met a guy who some of you from the West End might know.
Go Panthers!
In the more than 1 million fans that swarm downtown San Francisco each day during Super Bowl week.
Oh, it's an awesome city. Awesome city. Can't beat the weather, right?
We bumped into Jamie Smith at Super Bowl City. He's living in San Fran, but grew up in Richmond and graduated from Freeman High School.
Sorry y'all are having to deal with the snow, but you're free to come out here and enjoy the West Coast for a little bit. But miss everybody back home. Love you, Mom.
Smith has lived here about a year and is working at Google on their cutting-edge Google Fiber project. The biggest difference between RVA and the Bay?
People out here are very, very, very laid back. I know that we do things at a slower pace back home too, but it's definitely a bit of a culture adjustment.
Smith thinks Super Bowl 50 has been good for his new home. As for a prediction for the game,
Panthers, sticking with my East Coast team, our sister state.
Now, this is by far the busiest we have seen Super Bowl City this entire week. Later tonight, Alicia Keys is scheduled to perform a free concert right here, so everybody's really, really pumped up. We are now about 24 hours away from the big game right here on CBS 6. In San Francisco, I'm Jake Burns for CBS 6 News. Angie, send it back to you.
CBS 6 has been in San Francisco all week covering the excitement leading up to Super Bowl 50.
Yep, the game is almost here. We're 2 days out from it, and CBS 6's Jake Burns spoke with a Virginia NFL player to find out how players and their families handle the pressure of such a huge event. Jake?
Yeah, Julie, the excitement here in San Francisco has been buzzing all week long, but this is by far the most people we've seen right here at Super Bowl City. So you got to think the players right now are getting kind of nervous themselves. We went to Torrey Smith. He's a wide receiver for the San Francisco 49ers and a native of Westmoreland County, Virginia, to see how he and his family handled those 2 days before the game.
Wide receiver, Torrey Smith.
Torrey Smith has accomplished a lot in 5 NFL seasons. The Central Virginia native won a Super Bowl and was named his team's Man of the Year. When you watch him play with his kids, you see how important that last one was to him.
I just wanted to learn the importance of teamwork, being selfless, being a great teammate, a great friend, and a better leader.
Smith and his wife, Chanel, remember the heart-stopping ending of Super Bowl 47, even if one of them didn't get to see it.
It was nerve-wracking, and I think they let the family come down like 2 minutes before, so we were like underneath for 2 minutes, not seeing the game at all.
So who do you think was more nervous in those last 2 minutes? You playing on the field or you in the tunnel?
Well, both.
Yeah, I don't know.
You catch it? Since Smith's 49ers didn't make it to Super Sunday this season, he's focusing on family.
A gazillion much?
And helping others strengthen theirs.
He's a great father, too.
Detroit Lions head coach Jim Caldwell, Coach Smith in Baltimore. He says the receiver is a shining example of the kind of father all NFL players and regular Joes can be.
Compassionate, caring, focused, committed, and a great father and a great family man. So, you know, he's pretty special.
Now, Torrey Smith might be one of the more famous NFL players from Central Virginia on an active roster right now. But coming up in our next half hour, our Lane Casadante will introduce you to a collegiate graduate who has more Super Bowl appearances than Russell Wilson, but you probably don't know this guy's name. Tune in for that in about 30 minutes.
Best coverage of Super Bowl 50 live from San Francisco, California.
Yeah, and it turns out we weren't the only ones from Richmond in the Bay Area. CBS 6's Jake Burns is live in San Francisco right now with the details for us. Hi, Jake.
Yeah, Reba, I'll tell you more about Tim Griles' journey to San Francisco coming up in just a second. But first, I want to give you a behind-the-scenes look of what it takes to put on the Super Bowl. Our media passes gave us access to the bowels of Levi Stadium yesterday, and I took away two things from it, really. First, there's an army of workers that are on duty there at the stadium helping make things run smoothly. Security, chefs, and also guest services, all really nice and all doing a great job enjoying the game to themselves, I might add. Also, when you're down in the bowels of a stadium in the tunnels and such, you never know exactly who you're going to bump into. I looked over to my left at one point while we were walking around before the game, and there was Lady Gaga right before she sang the national anthem, which, by the way, she knocked out of the park, and with the Blue Angels screaming over the top, it was a really cool sight to see. Well, Tim Griles got to see that sight. He's from Richmond. He lives and works there here, and he was at the game because just about a week or so ago, a buddy of his called him up and said, "Hey man, I got a ticket. You want to go?" So what do you think he did?
Well, it's a bucket list item, you know. You got to, from Richmond all the way to San Francisco. I mean, you can't get any farther, but you got to do it when you got the opportunity. I love Peyton Manning, but I love Cam Newton. So it's been a great game either way, and either way I win.
Tim had a lot of fun. We've had a lot of fun all week long. Lane Casadante, Mackenzie Walter, Gabby Smith from WTVR, our sister station. All of us have been having a good time bringing you these reports. I picked this location this morning because it is so beautiful. This is the Bay Bridge back behind me. It runs from downtown San Francisco into Oakland. We've loved our time here, and it's just been beautiful people, beautiful weather, and just a beautiful game, guys.
Hey, Jake, you know, every Super Bowl has a story, and of course the big one here is this might be Peyton Manning's last game. It had to be magical for you to enjoy that with all these fans there.
You know what? I'm a big Tennessee Vols fan. I saw Peyton Manning play when he was a senior in college at Tennessee, the University of Tennessee. And I'll be honest with you, when they ran out of the tunnel, I got a little bit choked up. Just a little bit.
Pretty cool.
Just a little bit. I love that. Great reporting, Jake. We loved it.